Welcome back to the deep dive. Have you ever really thought about how a single family, their journey can cover such different spiritual ground? Like, what if one person's deepest wish could totally change the karmic path for someone else, maybe even across lifetimes?
It's a fascinating question, and today we're diving deep into this amazing case study from one of our listeners. It's not just a story, really. It spans generations. We're talking traditional Chinese ways, Taoism, Christianity, and then this big journey into Buddhism.
Yeah, and we got some really detailed sources to look at here.
Exactly. So our mission today is to kind of unravel these threads, karma, choices, these sudden spiritual moments within this one family.
We want to see how actions echo, maybe in ways we don't expect. And I think you'll find some genuinely surprising things, maybe some aha moments about how this all works. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so it starts with the listener's Chinese grandparents, married young at 19. But wow, what a difference between them.
Oh, absolutely. The grandmother, she sounds incredible, kind, always giving, worked hard, smart. But she was dealing with daily abuse from her husband, the grandfather. He was, well, a heavy drinker.
That's tough. The endurance she must have had.
Unbelievable endurance. And, despite being such a good person generally, that suffering led her to make this really specific, heartfelt wish. She prayed, like really prayed, never to cross paths with her husband again, not in any future life.
That's intense. Not just a passing thought.
No, it was a deep plea for, total karmic separation.
And then when she passed away at 102, which is amazing in itself,
Mm.
her funeral instructions were really different.
Yeah, very unconventional. She said no crying and no kongtek, the paper things people burn.
Right, the offerings.
None of that. Instead, she wanted the family to wear bright colors, specific ones too. Blue for her kids, red for grandkids, yellow for great-grandkids, pink for the generation after that.
It almost sounds like, I don't know, a celebration, like she was free.
Maybe, yeah. But the biggest thing, the instruction that really showed her determination about that wish, her grave.
Oh, yes.
She was explicit. Keep it far away from her husband's grave. Her words were to make sure they never meet again.
Wow. She wasn't messing around.
Not at all. And her money, too. She had clear instructions. Some for Fa, those forest robe offerings at temples. Some for monks or novices who ordained for her funeral. And the rest, savings for her descendants.
So given how different their lives were, what happened next? The sources talk about their afterlives, right? In quite specific detail.
They do. It's pretty fascinating. First off, why did she live to 102?
Yeah, that's quite an age.
Well, it's a karma. Good karma. In a past life, she often gave food and medicine to monks, helped the poor with medicine, and crucially, she wished specifically for a long life. So those actions paid off.
And after she passed.
She went to the Tavatimsa heaven, that's level 2, a high celestial place, became a beautiful celestial maiden, incredibly happy because of her Buddhist merit. And interestingly, her merit actually increases when her family dedicates more merit to her now.
Okay, wow. So what about the grandfather? The drinking, the violence?
Yeah.
That can't have led anywhere good.
Unfortunately, no. His actions sent him straight to Hell Realm number 5. It's described as a place of intense suffering. He's apparently forced to drink hot black acid.
Oof, that sounds horrific.
It is, and it's long-term suffering. We're talking the equivalent of 6 quadrillion human years. And right now, any merit the family sends him, it can't actually reach him there.
Goes wasted.
Not wasted, exactly. It waits for him. It's stored, kind of in Yama's world, the realm of the judge of the dead for when he eventually finishes his time in that specific hell.
Okay, so the big question. Her wish. Did she get it? Not meeting him again.
Yes. The sources are clear. Her wish is granted. Their actions, their karma were just too different. She went up, he went way down. Their paths diverged completely.
It really shows how our actions, good or bad, carve out these paths, doesn't it? And how even a really strong intention, like her wish, can actually manifest.
Absolutely. It's a powerful illustration of karmic mechanics.
Okay, so from the grandparents and their very different fates, let's shift to the listener's parents. They had a whole different spiritual focus, right? Deep into Taoism for many years.
That's right, yeah. Decades, actually. Very devout, following strict practices.
What did that involve for them?
Well, the core ideas were doing good deeds, being vegetarian their whole lives, and really focusing on avoiding karmic debt. And the vegetarianism was strict, not just no meat, but also no things like spring onions, garlic, onions, shallots, those specific aromatics.
Interesting. And their central belief, it was focused on a specific figure.
Yes, they revered the mother goddess, They saw her as the ultimate creator, the one who opened heaven and earth, made everything in the universe. In their view, she was, well, greater than everyone, including the Buddha.
And they had a private space for this.
Yeah, a shrine. On the fourth floor of their house, daily worship, secret rituals, they considered these secrets of heaven, so, no photos, no talking about it, very private.
So the listener grew up surrounded by this.
Mhm.
It makes sense then that she didn't really know about Buddhist temples or merit making at first.
Exactly. She had no connection to it, no faith in it initially, and the sources actually give a karmic reason for this.
Oh. What's the insight there?
It suggests that she was born into this specific family because in a past life, before she became Buddhist herself, she followed a different belief system. And significantly, she actually stopped some relatives from making merit with the Buddhist community back then.
Wow.
Yeah, even though she did return to Buddhism later in that same past life, she was apparently hesitant at first to be a spiritual friend, someone who guides others. So that past action kind of set the stage for her being born into this Taoist family.
That's fascinating how past actions can literally shape the family and the spiritual environment you land in, creating these initial sort of barriers.
Exactly, barriers to finding what might become her true path later on.
Okay, so let's follow the listener's own journey. Her first real contact with Wat Phra Dhammakaya, the temple involved here, was through a university Buddhist club. She volunteered.
Right, but then her mother, being strictly Taoist, forbade her from going, and this led to a 17-year gap, a long time away from the temple.
17 years, wow. And during that time or after, her life took another turn, spiritually speaking.
It did. After university, she married someone she met there, but his family was Christian. His grandfather had actually founded a church, and his grandmother took him to church every Sunday. So another layer of different beliefs in the mix.
Okay, so fast forward to 1998. A doctor friend asks her to get involved in creating a Buddha image.
Yeah, a central Buddha image for the temple. The listener agreed, but more out of politeness, really. She didn't have strong faith at that point. But here's where it gets really interesting. Her husband.
The one from the Christian family.
Yes. He also decided to create a Buddha image. And he did it in the name of Grandma Master Teacher, who is Kunyai Ajahn, the founder of the temple, a highly revered meditation master.
But he didn't know anything about Dhammakaya before this.
No prior knowledge at all. He just felt this incredibly deep, sort of unexplainable connection. He described it as feeling like grandma and grandchild just popped into his head, apparently.
Strange. A connection out of nowhere.
Very strange. And then came the casting ceremony for the Buddha images, September 6th, 1998. This was a key moment for the listener.
What happened?
Well, during the meditation session, lots of people were reporting seeing this crystal sun phenomenon in the sky. People were moved, some were crying, but the listener,
Nothing.
nothing. Her eyes actually hurt from looking, and she felt really skeptical, especially because there were rumors going around that the temple was using lasers or something. She's thinking, okay, if this is real, why didn't I see it?
Completely understandable doubt. If everyone else sees something amazing and you don't.
Right, you'd question it. It makes her eventual experience even more compelling, I think.
So what happened? She didn't see it then.
Not during the main event. She actually wanted to leave the practice site. But later that evening, she just happened to look up at the setting sun. And suddenly, there it was.
She saw it. The crystal sun.
Yes. For a full 30 minutes, she described it as clear, rotating clockwise really fast, with these beautiful sparkling rings of light around it. Seeing it for herself, like that, just completely convinced her it was real.
Wow, a personal miracle almost.
Exactly, and it didn't stop there. The very next day, she went back to meditate, really determined this time, closed her eyes, and found this deep sense of inner peace she hadn't felt before.
So it clicked internally too.
It really clicked. The teaching suddenly made sense to her in a new way, and this led her to decide, okay, I'm creating another Buddha image, this one for the main dome, and get this, before she actually donated the money for it, she had this vision while sleeping. Yeah, she saw a golden glowing sphere inside her stomach. The source calls it an auspicious karmic sign, like a sign of the merit she was making.
Incredible. So her faith was really solidifying now.
Definitely. And then in November 98, there was a lot of criticism directed at the temple at the time, quite strong attacks actually. But despite that, she decided to go to the Kathina ceremony, the big annual offering ceremony. She went alone.
It takes courage going against the grain like that.
It does, and seeing the huge crowd there, all orderly and peaceful, it just hit her. She thought, if Luang Por, the head monk, wasn't truly good, this many people wouldn't be here like this. That really sealed it for her. Her faith became solid and she felt committed to, protecting the teachings.
What a journey from skepticism to deep conviction. It really highlights how direct personal experience can just override everything else, leading to those big aha moments.
It really does. Sometimes logic and reason only take you so far, and then something happens that just shifts your entire perspective.
Okay, so the listener had her turning point. But her husband's story is maybe even more dramatic. His conversion.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite something. It happened when he was traveling abroad. He lost his plane ticket and his passport.
Oh no, nightmare scenario.
Total nightmare. He did everything you'd normally do, searched everywhere, recorded it. Nothing worked. He was stuck. Then he remembered this little Buddha relic his wife had given him.
The one she gave him before her faith was even solid.
Well, maybe around that time, yeah. So, as a last resort, kind of a what have I got to lose moment, he prayed to the relic, called it his ninth solution.
His ninth plan, okay.
And, miraculously, someone completely unknown just walked up and returned his passport and ticket to the airline counter. Just like that. Despite there being loads of different sales offices where it could have ended up, he was absolutely stunned.
Wow, it's hard to explain away.
Very hard. And the sources explicitly connect this back. They say finding the document so quickly was due to the power of that Buddha relic and the merit he'd already made by creating his own Dhammakaya Buddha image, the one in Grandma Master Teacher's name.
The connection he felt earlier.
Exactly. It all ties together. So what's the first thing he does when he gets back to Thailand?
Let me guess. He wanted to go to the temple.
Immediately. First request. Take me to Wat Phra Dhammakaya. He went, made an offering to Luang Por, full of this newfound faith, and the very next day, he brought Chinese herbal soup for the monks.
That's a 180-degree turn, from a Christian background to bringing soup for Buddhist monks overnight.
Pretty much. And his involvement just snowballed from there. By the year 2000, he was getting good results in his own meditation, and he started really studying Buddhism deeply. He was apparently just blown away by the Buddha's wisdom.
And now he's heavily involved in their international work.
Hugely involved. It's quite extensive. Organizing ordinations for hundreds of novices in Cambodia, offering robes in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, India, setting up Dhamma debates back in Thailand.
Wow.
Leading pilgrimages to India, arranging for sacred relics to be brought from Sri Lanka to Thailand, organizing global monk conferences in India and Malaysia, inviting monks from other countries to the temple. I mean, the list goes on.
He really dove in head first.
Completely. And his guiding principle is a teaching from Luang Por. Buddhist sons must be one, like the single son, promoting unity.
Now, does karma explain his path too? Being born Christian, then this dramatic switch?
Yes, the sources offer insight here too. Similar to the listener, it suggests his Christian birth family was due to past karma. Apparently, in a past life, he was part of the Buddhist community, had some conflict, left, and only returned later in that life.
Interesting parallel.
And there's more. He works closely with a particular foreign monk now, right? The sources say they were spiritual friends in that same past life. They made merit together, but they also had conflicts. These conflicts led both of them to leave the community temporarily. The husband went to other beliefs. The monk drifted into non-Buddhist ideas before both came back to Buddhism within that lifetime.
So their connection now was rooted way back then.
Exactly. Old friends and maybe some old issues, finding their way back together to do good work.
And what about the benefits? Doing all this work to unite Buddhists globally. What kind of results does that bring, karmically speaking?
Oh, the rewards are described as massive. Things like having many allies, always being born into Buddhist circles, into righteous families, having great wealth, being loved by both humans and devas, celestial beings.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, living in harmonious communities, closing off the path to lower realms of suffering, guaranteeing rebirth in heaven, and having loads of celestial attendants there. It's seen as creating incredibly powerful positive karma.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does it take to turn someone from, maybe not a skeptic, but someone rooted in a totally different faith into such a dedicated force for another? His story is just amazing. Past karma, that relic, the passport, it all converged.
It really shows how unpredictable and powerful these turning points can be.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly and talk about family health. This often feels random, but in this view, it connects back to karma too. The listener's daughter, for instance, born healthy, but developed severe scoliosis.
Yes, S-curve scoliosis by age 14, caused uneven shoulders. And normally, that's seen as basically incurable or very difficult to treat.
What's the karmic explanation giving for that?
The insight points to a past life action, hitting a snake on its back with a stick, hard enough to break it.
Ouch. Specific.
Very specific. But the source also says the karma wasn't, like, overwhelmingly heavy. And importantly, the merit she's making now, the daughter, through her own good deeds and prayers, has already significantly lessened the condition's severity.
So even with a past negative action causing a present problem, current good actions can help.
Absolutely, they can mitigate it. And the advice given is for her to just keep making all kinds of merit, generosity, morality, meditation, and to pray specifically for good doctors and effective medicine. The idea is that this continued effort can lead to a full recovery.
It gives a sense of agency, even over something like health that seems predetermined.
Exactly. It's not just passive fate. Actions matter, past and present.
Now, what about the listener's mother? The devout Taoist who's now meditating but maybe hasn't fully embraced the Buddhist path.
Right. She still lacks full faith in the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So according to the insights, what's her likely path after this life?
Where does her Taoist merit lead?
At best, the source suggests her merit would take her to become a Vidyadhara. That's like a knowledge holder, a being with special abilities living in the Himapin forest.
A mythical forest realm.
Yeah, a kind of heavenly forest at the base of the Himalayas in Buddhist cosmology. She'd apparently join others there who share similar beliefs in a specific region of that forest made of gold, basically grouping with like-minded souls.
Okay. And she also has health issues currently.
Yeah.
Heart disease.
Yes. And that, too, is linked back to past karma. Specifically, killing animals for food, having an irritable temperament, and also overworking animals, like forcing them to work until they were exhausted.
So multiple causes contributing to that one condition.
Seems so. The karmic web can be complex.
What's the advice for the listener in helping her mother?
Pretty consistent advice, really. Keep being a good spiritual friend. Gently encourage her mother to let go of the older beliefs, or at least integrate them with Buddhist practice correctly. Focus on accumulating the main types of Buddhist merit generosity, keeping precepts, meditation, and importantly, to dedicate the merit she makes specifically to the animals she harmed in the past.
Addressing the cause directly through dedicating merit.
Exactly. It's fascinating how these specific karmic links are drawn and how targeted the remedies can be through merit-making and dedication. It really emphasizes the active role one can play.
Okay, one last family member to discuss. The listener's brother. He runs a steel company, and he actually supplied steel for a major building at the temple, the Dhammakaya International Assembly Hall.
Right, a direct business connection.
But despite that, he doesn't have faith himself. In fact, he tells his sister, the listener, not to visit the temple. So does he get any benefit, any merit from providing that steel?
That's a really interesting question, and the answer, according to the source, is no.
None at all, even though his materials built part of the temple.
Nope. Because it was purely business, a commercial transaction. There was no faith involved, no intention to make merit or support the religion. It was just selling steel. So from a karmic perspective, it doesn't count as a meritorious act for him.
Intention is key then.
Absolute crucial in making merit.
So what can the listener do about her brother and his family? They seem quite resistant.
The advice is basically patience and perseverance through prayer and her own merit. The insight suggests that their minds just aren't open yet. She should just keep doing her own practice, making all kinds of merit and consistently dedicate prayers for them.
Sending good energy their way, essentially.
Sort of, yeah. The idea is that this accumulated merit she dedicates will subtly work on them over time. It might gradually soften their hearts or create conditions until maybe one day something clicks and they gain faith. It's a long game, perhaps.
It relies on the quiet power of her own consistent actions.
Exactly. And there's one final insight about the whole family.
Oh.
The sources mention that the listener and her family actually have a history together related to the Buddhist community. In past lives, they apparently served as supply troops.
Supply troops, like
Yeah.
supporting the community materially.
That seems to be the implication, yeah. Providing resources, support from behind the scenes. So the encouragement for the listener is to keep making full merit in this life, aiming high, and to make a strong wish or prayer to meet again with her family in Dusitburi.
What's Dusitburi again?
It's a specific high-level heaven, often described as the realm where bodhisattvas beings aiming for Buddhahood to help all others reside before their final birth. So it's like aiming to reunite in a place dedicated to spiritual development and wishing never to be separated again on that path.
Wow. That adds another layer to their family dynamic, past and future. It really underscores that influencing people, especially family, isn't always about direct argument. Sometimes it's about patience, your own consistent effort, and letting that positive energy ripple out.
Precisely. It's a belief in the subtle, persistent power of accumulated goodness.
Well, we've certainly covered a lot of ground today. This family story is just incredible, spanning generations, different faiths, deep wishes, resistance, sudden awakenings.
It really is a remarkable saga. We've seen karma play out in health, in relationships, in afterlife destinations. We've seen the impact of heartfelt prayers, the undeniable power of direct personal experience, and what dedicated service can look like.
It connects so many dots, individual choices, past lives, present circumstances, future possibilities.
Definitely gives you a lot to think about regarding cause and effect.
So as you, listening, reflect on all this, maybe consider how many threads from your own past, things you know about, maybe things you don't, could be weaving the pattern of your life right now. And perhaps more importantly, what small, consistent actions are you taking today? Because those actions might just be shaping your future and the future of people around you in ways you can't even begin to imagine.
A powerful thought to end on. The ripples we create, consciously or unconsciously,